Okay, let us discuss each questions. So, first question: which of the following is a key difference between Niti Aayog and Planning Commission? Yesterday we have discussed, and I have sent you the notes also. Okay, in your WhatsApp group regarding the every topics PDF I have sent you. Okay, what is the difference between Niti Aayog and Planning Commission? Option B. First one is Niti Aayog allocates funds, Planning Commission does not. That is vice versa actually. Niti Aayog will not allocate any kind of funds. It will just give the report, which are the schemes, which are the strategies should be made for developing the India. It will not allocate any kinds of funds. The Planning Commission, since from 1950 till 2014, it used to allocate the funds. This first option A is eliminated. Okay, that is wrong. The next one, Niti Aayog follows bottom-up approach. Planning Commission followed top-down. Okay. Next is Planning Commission promotes innovation. Niti Aayog does not. Niti Aayog also promotes innovation actually. Okay. This statement is wrong. Niti Aayog was established in 1950. No, it was Planning Commission that was been established in 1950. Okay. Planning Commission was established in 1950. Okay. Just write it in your question paper itself. Okay. Planning Commission was established in 1950. Niti Aayog does promotes the innovation actually. Okay. Next, the rest answer is this one. See, Planning Commission, as I told you yesterday itself, concentrate here. There will be a central government, there will be state governments. Okay. Here, central government had a lot of power. Okay. Whatever the report, whatever the innovation, whatever the strategy is given by the Planning Commission, it was actually to be followed even by the state governments. Okay. See here, Planning Commission followed top down. Top down means from the upper level, from the central government, they used to give the innovation, they used to give the strategies. Then state governments used to send it for the district. Okay, that is Jilla Panchayat, then Taluk Panchayat, then at Village Panchayat. This was the top-down approach that was being followed by the Planning Commission. Niti Aayog followed bottom-up approach. That is bottom level, which is the one? Village Panchayat will be at the bottom level. It is the grassroots level. From that onwards, we will just develop the country. That is what it is followed by the Niti Aayog. That is why it is called as bottom-up approach. Okay. The next. Okay. Next one is, which mission of Niti Aayog promotes innovation and entrepreneurship? Option A, that is Atal Innovation Mission. Next is, who appoints the CEO of the Niti Aayog? Government of India actually. Okay, it is Government of India. CEO, that is Chief Executive Officer, he is appointed by actually the Government of India, not even the Prime Minister. Okay, that was there in the PDF, I think so. Yesterday.
The CEO.
CEO of Niti Aayog is appointed by the. Just check.
it is like appointed by Prime Minister.
Okay.
If it is something completely about India, then it comes to the government of India.
New CEO. Okay, let us keep it.
It's here.
CEO is appointed by the Prime Minister. They have given CEO is appointed by the Prime Minister, but Prime Minister solely he don't appoint the CEO. The secretary, the so-called senior IAS officer will become the CEO of the Niti Aayog.
When it comes to entire part of Niti Aayog, then it comes government of India. When it comes to a particular CEO, then it comes to Prime Minister.
Prime Minister will appoint the CEO, but the recommendation will be given by the ministers also. I mean the expertise and also the governing council will give the recommendation.
But in Google, it's shown Prime Minister.
Yeah, Google it is showing Prime Minister, but well, let me give a clarification tomorrow. Okay, with a proper answer. Then when was the Planning Commission dissolved? 2016, 15. Okay. In 2015, Niti Aayog was been set up, and during that time, this was been dissolved. Which statement about Niti Aayog is correct? It prepares annual budget for states. It is a constitutional body. It acts as a policy think tank for the government. It was set under the 42nd Constitutional Amendment. It acts as a think tank. Okay. See here, let me explain. Already sir has explained this constitutional bodies for you in the class. Okay. In constitutional bodies, Niti Aayog don't come. Okay. It is a statutory body. It is a non-constitutional body. Okay. Just concentrate here. If you have a common sense, then you can eliminate two options here. Since it is not a constitutional body, then through the amendment, this don't come. Sorry, this one will not come under amendment itself. Understood? Only the constitutional bodies can get amended and it can be added. Okay. And since it is not a constitutional body, it is a statutory body, then there is no necessary of thinking of this kind of amendment, constitutional amendment at all. Okay. Only the constitutional bodies and the articles will get amended, not the statutory bodies. Okay. And it prepares annual budget for states. No, it don't prepare budgets for state. It will give recommendations and also the strategies, and also it monitors regarding the schemes, policies, programs. That's it. Okay. The next, finally, this is the policy think tank for the government. The answer is C. Next. Which sector of the economy includes activities like research, information technology, and consultancy? Quaternary. Okay, research, information technology, all is related to the knowledge. Next, in a mixed economy like India, which of the following is correct? Both private and public sectors play important roles. Okay. See, mixed economy anta banna both the government and the public. Government and also the public, both the private people and public will be having the important roles. That is called as mixed economy. Is there any doubt in this? Next, if India's GDP in 2025 is US dollar 4.19 trillion at nominal terms and US dollar 17 trillion at PPP, this indicates what? This is bit of confusion and complicated also.
Option B.
Option B. Why so? Is Indian rupee overvalued according to you? What is for $1? What is the rupee value? It is 83, 85 rupees. Is it overvalued? It is not. Okay. Compared to the other countries' currency, it is not much overvalued. And also, India's rupee has higher domestic purchasing power than implied by nominal GDP. Okay. Third one is nominal GDP is always greater than PPP GDP.
The PPP's purchase power.
Yes, purchasing power parity GDP. Just see in the notes what is the purchasing power parity GDP and also nominal GDP. It is actually a lesser. Nominal GDP is actually lesser than the PPP GDP. Next is India's GDP growth rate is negative. No, it's into a positive. Okay. The last option left is the B. Okay. Indian rupee has higher domestic purchasing power than implied by the nominal GDP. The next one. Which of the following is not a part of GVA calculation? Depreciation. Is it correct? Which of the following is not a part of GVA? Option C. Depreciation don't come under GVA. GVA means it is actually a value added at each production stage. At production stage, it will get valued. What is the cost of production? Then when it comes to the wholesaler, the rupee changes. When it comes to a retailer, again it changes. When it comes to a consumer, again it will change. That adds the value for that goods. That is a correct one. Okay. Depreciation don't come under GVA. And GVA is also one of the output for each sector, for agriculture sector, for industrial sector, for service sector, that kind. Next, it is an intermediate consumption. Yes, it is an intermediate consumption. Why? What is intermediate consumption? GVA is not actually a final one. GVA is not a final one here. Cost of production. The manufacturer price is different. The wholesaler price is different. The retailer price is different. This is what called as intermediate. Intermediate means middle. Okay. Wholesaler price is different. Retailer price is different. Consumer price is different. Just give me a minute. Planning Commission was dissolved in 2014. Okay.
17th August 2014.
Can you just change that? Is 2014. Ended early in 2015 when Planning Commission was dissolved. Okay, just Planning Commission of India was dissolved in 2014 ಅಂತ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ. Okay, 2014. Just change that. Okay, it is 2014. Next one. In which type of economy does the government have complete control over all means of production?
Socialist.
Socialist. Government will be having the total control over socialist one. Okay. Next one. Which Indian state had the highest GSDP in 2024-25? Which one? Maharashtra. Next is the real GDP differs from nominal GDP in that it. What is the difference between real GDP and nominal GDP?
Adjust for inflation using base year prices.
Adjust for inflation using base year prices. Where the base year is used, is it in nominal or is it in real? Real GDP they use base year, but in nominal GDP they don't use base year. They will only use the current prevailing prices. Okay. So that is the answer. Measures GDP in US dollar, yes. Both of them will be measured in US dollar itself. Next, 13th one. Okay. In the GDP formula, GDP, what is M means? M means imports. Which sector contributes the largest share of India's GVA?
Tertiary.
Tertiary, that is service sector. Round about 55% of the GVA comes under service sector. In which economy is there minimal state intervention? Capitalistic economy, very minimal intervention will be there, and the interference of state will be there. Next, the Human Development Report is published by, yes, UNDP. UNDP publishes the Human Development Report. 17th one. Which of the following is not the dimension of the HDI? Political stability. Okay. All these three, first A, B, C, health, education, income, that comes as an indicator for HDI calculation. 18th one. The HDI uses GNI per capita in place of GDP per capita because it includes income from abroad. Yes. Next one. The Global Happiness Report is published by Global Happiness Report. Option A, that is UNSDSN, that is United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. 19th one is option A. Already I have given in the PDF. Okay. UN Sustainable Development Solution Network. 19 is A. Which of the following is not used as an indicator for Global Happiness Index? Forest cover per capita is not used as an indicator. Okay. 20th is D. 21st, according to the 2025 report, the happiest country is Finland. Okay. India's rank in the 2025 Global Happiness Report was closest to 118th rank. Okay. 118th rank. Next, 23rd, the Global Hunger Index is jointly published by option B, IFPRI and Wealth Hunger Life. 23B, okay. Which of the following is not the component of the GHI score? Adult literacy rate is not an component. The concept of 5-year plan was taken from concept of 5-year plan was taken from USSR. Okay. Next, the first 5-year plan in India focused primarily on agriculture and irrigation. Okay. The 8th 5-year plan delayed due to
drought conditions.
8th 5-year plan comes in which year? 8th 5-year plan comes under which year? 8th 5-year plan ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬರ್ಬೋದು? 8 5s are 40. Okay, just take like that. Okay, 1950. Okay, just take from 1951 to 1956 they have started the first 5-year plan. Okay, the same way they have given 8th 5-year plan. 8 5s are 40. Okay, in 1951 they have started this one.
Option C.
Okay, option C.
It is given in 8th.
See, 8th one started in 1990 to 1991 actually.
8th started in 1992 to 1997.
1992 to 1997. Okay.
Actually, ma'am, like in 8th year, it in 90 to 92.
Eighth 5-year plan was started in
1992.
okay.
But it was delayed.
Okay, delayed due to. See, it was actually delayed by political instability that was rose in 1990 1991. Yeah, ಏನಾಗಿತ್ತು ಹೇಳಿ? Political instability because of BOP crisis, balance of payment crisis due to the war, Gulf War. Okay, there was no, see, we didn't had any external kind of war. India didn't done any kind of war with any country during that time. Only thing is in Gulf, okay, there were Gulf countries, they had a war between each other. Due to that, it led to the increase in the price of petroleum products. And India was a huge importer of petroleum products. When they were fighting each other, when the war is going between these countries, automatically India's petroleum product also rose. Why? Because we are importing from Gulf countries itself. When we are importing these petroleum product or crude oil from the Gulf countries, automatically our BOP, balance of payment, was into the crisis. What is balance of payment? Balance of payment andre ಏನು? What is meant by balance of payment?
The amount.
Yes, the amount. Okay, for trading purpose, we should transact into a foreign currency itself. We can't transact. We can't do the trading in terms of Indian rupees. Indian rupees don't have a value at the global level. Only the hard currencies like US dollar, euro, pound sterling, British pound sterling, yen, renminbi. Okay, these kind of only 5 to 6 currency have the value to transact at the global level. Okay. BOP crisis andre, see here, the forex reserve was less. Forex reserve was decreased. We had only a forex reserve that lasts only for 14 days during that time. In order to import any kind of goods or any crude oil also, we had only a forex that lasts only for 14 days during that time. That is why the PM Narasimha Rao and also the finance minister Manmohan Singh, they have took that initiative to implement these LPG reforms in India. That is liberalization, privatization and globalization during that time. That LPG reforms was being given by whom? IMF, International Monetary Fund. Okay, IMF have given certain measures for the India that you should implement all this, then your India will come into the growth. And all these, the Prime Minister and Finance Minister, they have took an initiative to adopt all these LPG reforms in India. Is there any doubt? No doubt. Okay. Due to the political stabilization itself, this was been delayed. The answer is B. Okay. Next is Niti Aayog. Niti Aayog established in the year 2015. The full form of Niti Aayog, National Institution for Transforming India. Okay, don't think any kind of confusion here. It is not a technical one. It is not a trading one. It is a transforming. It just gives the innovation. Which of the following is not the function of Niti Aayog? Not the function. Not. Which one? Niti Aayog? Option B, it does not allocate financial resources to the states. Who will allocate the resources? Yes, finance minister or finance commission. Okay. Allocation of funds made by the finance minister itself. That's why you will be seeing in the memes regarding Nirmala Sitharaman. Have you seen or not that the state government will be just scolding for the Nirmala Sitharaman that she didn't give much funds for our states. Have you seen that? Okay. This is the correct. This is the option. Okay. 30B. See, especially in South Karnataka, the allocation of funds is slightly lesser. Even though the Karnataka, Maharashtra, Tamil Nadu, as you see the GSDP, who is the top fund in GSDP? Maharashtra, next Tamil Nadu, and we are standing third place, I think so. The Karnataka standing third. Even though we just generate lot of income at the southern level, but the allocation of funds from the central government is less for us. Maximum allocation of funds, it is for the northeast region and also for the north region. Why? Because why they allocate lot of funds for the northeastern states? For the development. Okay, why so? Because still that places, still that states are underdeveloped. All these 7 sisters. Have you seen the geographical indications of that? The valleys are huge, the mountains are so much that they can't establish the industries properly over there. Okay, that is why they wanted to construct the bridges, railways over there, and they can just do the trading. We can just see the Bangladesh wanted to trade with us, with India, but our India is denying for the Bangladesh because of various reasons. Now the Bangladesh wanted to do the trade route from the northeast region also. Okay, and that is why the government, especially the central government, it allocates major part of the so-called these funds, especially for northeastern region and also for the northern region. Okay. The next one is, consider the following statement regarding the HDI. HDI is calculated using life expectancy at birth, expected years of schooling, and GNI per capita. The HDI ranges from 0 to 100. Is it 0 to 100 or 0 to 1? 0 to 1. Okay. Since it is 0 to 1, can you eliminate this option 2? Yes, you can eliminate this. It is 0 to 1 actually. Okay. The inequality adjusted HDI is always equal to or higher than HDI. What is this inequality adjusted HDI? Inequality adjusted HDI, it is having the gender gap index also in that. Discrimination, whatever the female feticide that happens in India especially. See, HDI is totally different and this inequality adjusted HDI is different. Okay. As you see the schooling and also the health, when you compare these indicators like health and schooling, major part that the people, especially the family, will concentrate much on a boys or a girls. Boys itself. They ignore the woman, they ignore the children, the girl. See, that is why they have specially brought this inequality adjusted HDI. Okay, this is equal or this is higher than the HDI. This is actually lesser. Okay, then the answer is option. Which is that question? What is the number of that question? 31. It is option A. Only one. It is actually a lesser one. Okay. See, this is at UPSC level. The next one is, consider the following statement regarding Global Hunger Index. It is published by IFPRI and Wealth Hunger Life. It is correct. Okay, then the HDI includes child mortality as one of its component. Yes, correct. Next, the HDI, the GHI score is better when it is lower. Correct. Option D is correct. Okay. Consider the following statements of the first 5-year plan. As I told you, it is based on the Harrod-Domer model. Okay. It gave priority to agriculture over industry. Yes, it is correct. The target growth rate was achieved and exceeded. Yes, it was true. Okay. First 5-year plan was successful and it has achieved its target and it was been exceeded also. Double ಆಗಿತ್ತದು. You can see in the PDF. Okay, yesterday, whichever I have shared you. Okay, all these statements are correct. Option C. Consider the following statements about Niti Aayog. Prime Minister is its chairperson. It is correct. It has replaced the Planning Commission in both policy advisory role and fund allocation. Yes. Then it promotes competitive federalism as well as cooperative federalism. True. Okay. Then all the statements are correct. Okay. Actually, Niti Aayog doesn't allocate fund here. Okay. It has replaced the Planning Commission in both policy advisory role and fund allocation. Fund allocation, that is wrong. Option B.
Fund allocation will do.
No, it will not do. Niti Aayog will not do any kind of fund allocation for any states. It will just give advice. Fund allocation will be made by the finance minister. Okay, just write down that.
They have even advice.
It can only advise. But both they have given, both policy advisory role and fund allocation, no. The Niti Aayog will only give policy advisory role, not the fund allocation. Fund allocation will be made by the finance minister. Okay, fund allocation will be made by the finance minister.
Both commission is both policy advice and
It has replaced the planning commission in both. Ivaga planning commission do ಎರಡಿದೆ ಕೆಲಸ. The role of the planning commission is both the planning, that is a policy advisory role, and fund allocation that was made by the planning commission actually. Now see here, just let me write here. Planning commission, it had two roles. One is giving the advice, that is advisory role. Next is allocation of funds. It used to do the funding for the states. Both were done by the planning commission. But Niti Aayog, when it was been established, it only done the advisory role, not this allocation of funds. Okay. Now Niti Aayog's role is only to advise. It is just an advisory role, not the allocation of funds. Okay. It is showing all the three are correct. Actually, it will not allocate funds to the states. Okay.
Like shifting from the top down to the collaborative bottom up approach.
Okay.
Like it is given the second option. Niti Aayog replaced the planning commission both policy advisory roles and fund allocation aspects, shifting from a statement 2 is correct.
Statement 2 is correct. Niti Aayog does not directly allocate funds to specific projects or a program. Instead, it plays a crucial role in policy formation, recommending funds. It will only recommend the funds. It will not allocate the funds. Okay. Allocating will be made by the finance minister. All the disbursement of the funds will be made by the finance minister itself. Only it can give the recommendation. The Niti Aayog can give only the recommendation. Just write down that somewhere. Okay. It will give only the recommendation for funds. It will give only the recommendation for funds. And allocation of funds made by the finance minister. Next, with reference to the global happiness report, consider the following statement. Option is 2 itself. B. Option is B. With reference to the global happiness report, consider the following statement. 35th one. 35th one, option B. Okay. Here, it is prepared by the UNDP. No. Global happiness report is prepared by whom? United Nations Sustainable Development Solution Network. Okay. Then the statement 1 is wrong. Just concentrate here. How to eliminate this one? I'm just telling you. If this is wrong, which can you eliminate? A, C, D. Only thing you will get is 2 and 3. 2 and 3 is the right option. Just eliminate with all these options. 1. Consider the following statement regarding 5-year plans in India. The 9th 5-year plan was launched in 1997. Then the 11th 5-year plan targeted an average GDP growth rate of 9%. The next one, 12th 5-year plan was the last plan before Niti Aayog was formed. Okay, it is correct. Okay, 12th 5-year plan was the last one. Okay. How many of the following above are correct? All. Okay. 36, all. Next one, 37. With reference to the Niti Aayog structure, consider the following. Its governing council includes CM and lieutenant governors. Yes. Okay. Next one, the vice chairperson is appointed by the prime minister. Yes. Next one, the CEO is appointed for a fixed tenure of 5 years. No. He is not actually fixed. He is not actually appointed for a term of 5 years. Okay. Option A is correct. Just eliminate. If the third one is wrong, just eliminate B, C and D. Consider the following statements regarding global hunger index. The undernourishment indicator is based on FAO data. There were 4 indicators: undernourishment, child stunting, child wasting and child mortality. This undernourishment indicator is based on FAO data actually. Okay. It's correct. Okay. Food and Agriculture Organization, I think. Okay. Food and Agriculture Organization, FAO. Next one, the child stunting refers to low weight for height in children under 5. Child stunting andre enu? Child stunting. Opposite to that. 38. Stunting ಅಂದ್ರೆ low height for age. Low height for age. Okay. They have given low weight for height. Okay, that is wrong. A GHI score of 10 to 19.9 is classified as moderate hunger. It is correct. Okay. How many of the following statements are correct? It is 2. Only 2. B. Consider the following statement about HDR. HDR. It is released by UNDP. That is Human Development Report Office headquartered in
New York.
New York. Okay, then HDI uses GDP per capita in constant US dollars as its income measure. HDI, whatever the, wait, it is not GDP, I think, it is GNI. Okay, that statement is wrong. HDI uses GNI, not GDP. Okay. Next one is the multidimensional poverty index is included in the HDR. 39. Statement 3 is also correct. Multidimensional poverty index, it is included in the HDR anta kottidare. This is in depth. Okay, this statement is too in depth. With reference to the 5-year plans, consider the following statements. The Mahalanobis model was adopted in the second 5-year plan. Is it correct? Correct. Next one, Garibi Hatao slogan was aimed at 4th 5-year plan anta kottidare. It was 5th 5-year plan. Okay, 5th 5-year plan idu. Next, the 6th marked the shift to economic liberalization policy. Is it so? 6th one, liberalization began in 1991. Okay, 6th 5-year plan, just check that. Second one is eliminated. Okay, 1, 2. It is 1 and 3. Okay. Consider the following statement regarding Niti Aayog. It published the annual Sustainable Development Goal India Index. Prepares the 3-year action agendas and 7-year strategies. It allocates plan expenditure to the ministries and states. How many of the above statements are correct? This Niti Aayog doesn't allocate plan expenditure.
To ministries and states also.
No, it will not allocate any kind of expenditure. It will just give only the schemes, programs, policies. That's it. It will not allocate any kind of expenditure. It will give just a blueprint regarding the schemes, regarding policies, programs. It will just monitor also. It will monitor, but it will not allocate any kind of funds. Then eliminate that one. Option B is correct. With reference to the Human Development Index adjustment, consider the following statement. The Gender Development Index measures gender gaps in human development achievements. Gender Inequality Index reflects reproductive health, empowerment, labor market participation. The third one is Inequality Adjusted HDI. That is, IHDI is always lower than or equal to the HDI. How many of the following statements are correct? All the statements are correct. In Gender Inequality Index, you will see this reproductive health, empowerment, and also labor market participation in that actually. See, inequality will be in the terms of reproductive health and empowerment and also labor market participation. As you can see, unemployed women are more than the unemployed women are more, or else unemployed men are more. Unemployed women are more in India. Okay, that is also a gender gap. You can see the inequality over there. Empowerment, that is what I told you. In in market, who is having the labor participation? Is the men or the woman participation is more?
Men.
Men participation is more in the market. And reproductive health, So I hope you have got the clarification regarding the answers. Is there any doubt? Just calculate the marks and put it over there in that result. Okay. Just give me here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you can see. You have given 2 marks for each question, or
Yes, ma'am.
no, it is only for 1 marks.
2 marks, ma'am, for the one question.
IB only 1 marks.
Oh, sorry, no, I had corrected like.
6. Okay. Just make it and correct that. Okay. Take a break of 10 minutes. 10 to 15 minutes, we'll start again. Okay.
ಇಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಬೇಕು ಸರ್ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಟೈಮಿಂಗ್ ಶೋರ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನೋಡಿ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಆದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರೀಲ್ಲ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಅಂತ then ಮಾಡಿ we will not use class late after lunch we started last time. And something. Nature. Last time. Previous. Mostly was. Lab was on the meeting. ನಾನು ಕಾನ್ಸೆಪ್ಟ್ ನಾನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ಮಾಡ್ತೇನೆ ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಕೂಡ ಡಿಫ್ರೆಂಟ್ ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ಲಿ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ನಾನು ಅದನ್ನು ಅವರು ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 8-9 members. ನನಗೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ ಅವರು ಆಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಶಾಕ್ ಅವರೆಲ್ಲ ಲೈಕ್ ನಾರ್ತ್ ಕನ್ನಡ ಲೈಕ್ ಬೆಳಗಾವಿ ಧಾರವಾಡ actually August 15th I don't know. Next day conversation process. He was doing about money laundering. Last year. Money laundering. So we were all having a conversation one by one. I was actually feeling the better. So I was so proud that government is tell us. Thank you so much for explaining so much. Money laundering people are government is still the problems. I started talking about. But even for small dollars. 8:30. No, he'll be spending so much on this money and we should support him. Last time now, full balance so much. ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಬ್ಲೋ ಮಾಡೋದು ನೋ ಡಿವೈಸ್ ಸೊ ಮಚ್ ಈಗ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫ್ ಅದೇ ಇತ್ತು ಆವಾಗ ನಾವು So we have to come up with that. We have to come up with that. And so I came to come to Sir Robert what I did not consider.
I will come out on time.
On time. You said today we have test, so I came around the 9. That you should mention to at least. Did she inform you we have afternoon? You should have said me that. Only one person should have mentioned afternoon tested. I got ready even the thought of studying. Okay. Oh, 34. Yeah.
32. 31.7. After editing them.
Oh.
2 marks. 32 marks. Point of 0.25.
ನಾನು actually auto only ಬರಬೇಕು actually I thought last time to study After seeing so many videos, I thought he still the after only 2 to 3 days, then I started. Ma'am, Saturday do we have class?
Saturday. Yes, you're having at 10 to 1.
10 to 1, 1 to 1:30 we take lunch break, from 1:30 to midnight test.
Yes.
Friday test we like.
Okay, Friday test will be right on Saturday.
Saturday.
Okay.
That weekend classes are there, they will be doing the classes which is not.
Yeah, okay. We were discussing regarding the inflation. Okay. So what we have studied in inflation? Firstly, what is inflation? Then the types of inflation. The opposite of inflation is deflation and disinflation, both. Which is good for economy and which is bad for economy. Okay. Inflation is good for economy. How much inflation is good for economy? Okay. Then why they have brought this so-called the inflation targeting then? Is inflation targeting is good for economy or not? It is also good for economy. That's why they have introduced this inflation targeting. Okay. Which is the first country that have adopted this inflation targeting? Which is the first country that they have adopted this inflation targeting? New Zealand. Okay, New Zealand have adopted this inflation targeting. Okay. And in 2014, based on the Urjit Patel recommendation, they have adopted the inflation targeting in India also. Okay. From 1989, okay, this New Zealand has adopted this inflation targeting. That inflation targeting that varies from one country to the other country. Okay. In our India, the inflation targeting is 4% plus or minus 2. Okay. But in New Zealand, it was 1 to 3 percentage. Then they again have changed that inflation targeting. Okay. In India, if the governor fails to control this inflation, there is no necessary action have been took against him. But in New Zealand, if they didn't meet that inflation targeting, then the governor of the New Zealand, governor of Central Bank of New Zealand, he will be just fired. Okay, that much of rigid and strict measures they take over there. But in India, it is not like that. Since we fail to control the inflation targeting 3 consecutive quarters also, here there is no kind of any kinds of actions will be taken against RBI governor. But there in New Zealand, it is strict. Okay, they should meet that criteria. They should be in the range, that should be in the range of 1 to, I think, just let me see and tell you the exact inflation targeting in New Zealand. They have given in a note. Okay. One to 3 percentage. The inflation target in New Zealand is just 1 to 3 percentage. If they fail to meet that inflation targeting, then they will take the strict action against that RBI of the New Zealand. Sorry, Central Bank governor of that New Zealand. Okay. Then let us see measures. How to measure this inflation? There are 3 indicators. Okay. One is CPI, next is WPI, and last one is GDP deflator. These are the types and that is used for measuring the inflation. If they ask you which are the types for measuring of this inflation is, one is a CPI, next is WPI, and third one is GDP deflator. What is WPI? WPI, wholesale price index. CPI, consumer price index, and GDP deflator. Let us study each one. Okay. WPI, CPI. See, firstly we will study the WPI. Okay. WPI. This WPI was being launched in 1939 itself, before independence. Okay. WPI was being, just write down, WPI was firstly published in the year 1939, before independence itself. The first WPI with 1939, the first WPI with 1939 as a base year, was being introduced in India. And that that published by the office of, it is published by the office of economic advisor, office of economic advisor. Office of Economic Advisor under the Ministry of Industry. Under the Ministry of Industry. Under the Ministry of Industry. Wholesale Price Index was firstly published in the year 1939, and this is the base year. That is published by which office? Office of Economic Affairs under the Ministry of Industry. Okay. And what is this WPI? See, the full form itself says that the price of goods, will be calculated at the wholesale level, wholesale price. The price of the goods, only the goods is calculated here for the wholesale price index. The goods that is calculated at the price of wholesale, that is called as WPI. If the goods and services are in CPI, it comes both goods and services. If both goods and services is calculated at the consumer level, consumer price level, then it is called as CPI. Okay. Initially, in olden days, they used to measure only in terms of WPI. Okay. Recently, since from 15 to 20 years back, they started the CPI, because the consumer will buy at the wholesale price or they will buy at retail price. The consumers will buy the goods and services in the wholesale price or in retail price. In retail price, that is why they started this CPI. Understood? Okay. So yeah, what is the purpose of WPI? Measures the wholesale inflation, that is price change at producer or wholesale level. What is the price at wholesale level? See here. Think that a manufacturer of any chair, okay, he has manufactured the chair at the cost of 1,000 rupees. 1,000 rupees per chair. Okay. Then he will sell it for whom? This manufacturer will sell it for whom? Wholesaler. Manufacturer will not sell it directly for customers. Manufacturer or the producer will sell the goods for the wholesaler. There will be a lot of wholesalers. And then these wholesalers will sell it for whom? Retailers. Then retailers for customers. Okay. See here. If the cost of production is 1,000 rupees per chair, he will sell it for wholesaler at which price? 1,200 maybe. Is it correct or not? Cost of production for that chair is 1000 rupee. He want a profit, a minimum profit. That's why he will sell it for 1200. Okay. Then this person will sell it for 1400. This person will sell it for 2000 rupees, including GST. Okay. GST, including GST. See here. Again, after several months or after several years, is the cost of production will be the same for that chair? After certain years, will the cost of production will be the same for that chair? No, it will increase. Why so? The raw material prices might be high. In order to produce this chair, whatever the raw material you want, the purchaser want, that might be high. Labor wages will be high. All the laborers worked 20 years back, they got only 10 rupees as a wage per day. Now they are getting 1000 rupees per day. Do you know that? Okay. And next, the electricity cost, rent cost, land cost, everything is included. And after certain years, after 2 years, think that this might cost around about 1200 rupees. The cost of production might increase. Then obviously he will sell at more price now. If it is 1200 rupees as the cost of production, he will sell at again 1500 or 1400 rupees per chair. See, that is what the WPI tells about. It tells that the producer or wholesale level, what is the inflation at producer and wholesale level. That is what they will calculate here. How much inflation has happened here? 1000 rupees, 1200 rupees per chair is there. 200 rupees have been inflated or not? Sorry, 200 rupees have been raised. That is what called as wholesale price index. Here, think that he has bought at 1200 rupees per chair, and after certain years, that price of that chair will be here 1200. Here it might be a 1500 rupees. Sorry, 1500 rupees per chair. Then what is the price? What is the difference now? 300 rupees per chair. That is called as inflation. That is called as wholesale price index. WPI, this is what the inflation at these level is called as WPI. Understood? The inflation at manufacturer side, the inflation at wholesaler side is called as WPI. Then the government decided this is not useful for the consumer level in order to calculate the inflation. Consumer will buy or purchase from home, retailer. That is why they have started CPI over here. We consumers will not purchase everything at wholesale level. Do we go and buy at the wholesale level? No. Only we want a few quantity of goods. That is why we will go for retail shop. If we wanted a huge lump sum amount of goods, then we might go for the wholesale level. If we wanted a few quantity of goods, obviously we will purchase where? At the retail shop. That is why they started the CPI also. They started to calculate the CPI. Is there any doubt? No doubt? Divya? No doubt? Is it helpful for the consumers? No, it might not be helpful for consumer. But this will help to know what is the inflation at the producer level, what is the inflation at the wholesaler level. The government will get to know why this inflation have been happened. Whether this person, manufacturer, is simply increasing his price or what. That is what the question has arrived. Then he told that the rate of the goods, the so-called the raw materials price have been increased, labor cost have been increased, electricity bill cost have been increased, input side have been increased. That is why I have increased the price of the cost of production. Have you got that? Suddenly, if this price have been increased, automatically there also it will get increased. Okay. Government wanted to know why our inflation is getting high. That is why they wanted to know at the input side. This is input side. Input side, the inflation have been raised. That is why it is called as wholesale price index. At the output side, it is consumer price index. Understood? If this increases, if the inflation has happens in the input side, obviously the inflation will happen at output side also. ಹೌದಾ? ಇನ್ಫ್ಲೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲೇ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಆದ್ರೆ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಲಿ ಇಟ್ ವಿಲ್ ಇನ್ಕ್ರೀಸ್ ವೇರ್ at the output side too. Understood? Okay. Then the formula of the WPI. What is the formula of WPI? The value of basket at current prices divided by value of basket at base year prices. Okay. Let us think that the value of basket at current prices, it might be 2000 rupees, okay, per chair, divided by value of basket at base year prices. What is the base year of wholesale price index? It is 2000. Write down current base year. Current base year for WPI is 2011 and 12. Current base year for WPI is 2011 and 12. 2011 and 12 is also a base year for what? GDP. How the 2011 and 12 is also a base year for GDP. 2011 and 12 is also a base year for WPI. Just concentrate here. The value of basket at current price. Current price of the chair is 2000. In 2011 and 12, the base year is 2011 and 12. During that time, the chair might be 1500 rupees. Okay, just calculate now. What is the answer? Calculate and just tell me the answer in your mobile phone. 2000 divided by 1500. One 133.33. Okay. $133.33. Minus 100 equal to 33.33% of inflation has been happened. Nodi, 33% inflation have been happened from 2011 12 to 2025. In 2011 and 12, the chair price was this much. In 2025, the chair price is 2000 rupees. Then what is the inflation? How much price have been increased? That is 33.33%. Understood? Is there any doubt? Why they will calculate the WPI? In order to know what? In order to know the inflation at producer or wholesale level. They want to know what is the inflation at producer and wholesale level. That is why they will calculate that. Okay. Is there any doubt in this? WPI? Okay. Steps to measure. As we know that base year is 2011 and 12. Okay. And what is the basket composition? As you saw the basket here. This basket. Okay. And then what is the basket? See, the basket means there are three types. One is primary article, next one is fuel and power, the third one is manufactured product. They have given the weightage If you add up all these, it will be 100%. Okay. They have just given the weightage. See, primary articles means it might be food products also, including the food products, everything. Fuel and power. Fuel might be in the form of coal, petrol, diesel, LPG, everything. Okay. And electricity also. Power means electricity. Okay. And next, manufactured products means all the produced goods from industries and factories. Next, price source, wholesale market, manufacturing units and its agencies. Where you will get these kinds of sources, especially from the manufacturers, and at the wholesale level only they will calculate. Next, no service sector coverage. In WPI, they will calculate only for what? Goods. For only the goods, they will calculate the inflation, not for service. At wholesale level, will you get the services? No, none of the services will be given at wholesale level. The education, banking, service, or whatever the IT sector, will you see, have they given any kind of wholesale services? No. Understood? Only the goods will be calculated at the wholesale price index. Next. Then comes the CPI. Okay. Then comes the CPI. What is the purpose? It measures the retail inflation. How prices paid by customers change over time. Think that you have brought the water bottle at 1000 rupees. Okay. Branded water bottle at 1000 rupees 2 years ago. Then if you want to again to purchase that the same brand water bottle, the price will be increased. That is what this is called as CPI. Okay. And next one, the formula. Cost of fixed basket in current year divided by cost of fixed basket in base year. Okay. But the base year here they have given is 2012 only, not 2011 and 12. For GDP, the base year is 2011 and 12. For WPI, the GDP is, sorry, for WPI, the base year is 2011 and 12. But for CPI, it is only 2012. Understood? Then, this CPI is also having different types. CPI-U, CPI-R, CPI-C anta heli. Okay, let us study that in detail. This CPI at urban level, how much is the inflation? This CPI at rural level, how much is the inflation? Combined means U plus R, urban and rural. And also agriculture labors, CPI at AL, that is agriculture labors. CPI only for industrial labors. Okay, they have given these types of CPI. Let us analyze that also. And what are the basket here? Food is there, housing, clothes, transportation, education, etc. These are included for calculating the CPI. See here. Types of CPI. CPI command, that is headline retail inflation official. Okay, let us study in detail in another slide. Okay, see the table. We'll get to know the difference of CPI, WPI. Lastly, we'll cover up the GDP deflator also. CPI will be measured only in terms of at the retail price. At the retail, okay, whatever the showrooms, whatever in the market you will see the retail shops, that only will get measured. Next one, it is wholesale inflation. Okay, that will be measured at wholesale level. It might be a producer level or wholesale level also. What is the base year? Base year is, for CPI it is 2012 and for WPI 2011 and 12. Coverage. CPI will be calculated for goods and services. WPI only for goods only. Next, weight source. Household expenditure survey. Value of output. This is not important. Okay. Frequency. Monthly they will just calculate the WPI and CPI. Next, use. This CPI will be helpful to know the monetary policy targeting. Actually, the RBI will control the inflation. RBI will get to know how much the inflation has been happened, how to control it. That is what it will target the CPI. It will get to know the report, how much of the inflation has happened at the customer's level, consumer level. Okay. Next one is supply side trend. Supply side means that is WPI itself. Okay. As you studied yesterday, RBI's inflation target is 4% plus or minus 2% is based on CPI combined, that is rural plus urban. Okay. WPI was the main measure until 2014. Till 2014, the government of India, okay, used to focus only on WPI. After that, RBI has given some of the report that we should calculate this inflation not only at WPI level, we should calculate the inflation at CPI level also. Okay. GDP deflator, let us study that also in detail. GDP deflator means measures inflation across entire economy, that is goods and services. As we know, the GDP deflator is nominal GDP divided by real GDP equal to, into 100 is equal to GDP deflator. Very important formula for your exam. Okay. This GDP deflator, they have asked many times. You know nominal GDP and also real GDP. Okay. And you can calculate that. What is the nominal GDP? Yes. Whatever the amount is there, just you calculate and you will get to know what is the GDP deflator. Is there any doubt here? Let us see the chart. Fixed questions they are asking, especially from WPI, CPI, frequently asked questions. Okay. As you know, this consumer price index is covered for goods and services. Okay. And let us see the components. Firstly, the components of the CPI combined. Okay. Components of the CPI combined. There you will be having the food, beverage and tobacco. Okay. Food, beverages and tobacco. Okay. This was been changed. Okay. See, they are having the different sets here. Okay. In CPI, they wanted to know in which particular sector the inflation is too much. That is why they have made one of the different kinds of subcomponents. That is food, beverages only. Okay. For food and beverages, it is 45.9%. Tobacco, it has came into the second component. Okay. Next one, housing ante heli, it is 16% of the weightage is given. See, if you calculate overall, it will be 100%. Okay. In 100%, they can't equally give 10% like that. Okay. Based on a weightage, they will calculate how much inflation has happened in these components. Sometimes we will tell the fuel and light, especially the fuel like crude oil, petrol, diesel, and also natural gas have been inflated in India. We can't blame that inflation has happened overall throughout in all the sectors. No, in order to specifically mention the subcomponent, we will tell they have differentiated into these different components. Different components gain ಮಾಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದ್ರೆ fuel and light, especially electricity ನೋಡಿ. Electricity bill have been increased. ಹೌದಾ? Next, also fuel ಅಂತ ಬಂದ್ರೆ petrol, diesel price have been increased. You can condemn only the fuel and light component here, and then the RBI can take the action to control this component as the inflation. RBI will control the inflation for fuel and light. RBI can control the inflation for clothing and footwear. Clothing and footwear is totally different from fuel and light. We can't combine each other in general terms. That is why specifically they have mentioned these kinds of components. Food, beverages, tobacco, that came only in one component. But recently they have removed this tobacco and they have added in another component. Understood? Now only the food and beverages is there. Food and beverages, it is round about 45%. Next, tobacco came under another component. Pan, tobacco, and also intoxicants. What is intoxicants? Alcohol. Alcohol, tobacco, pan, that came under different component. We can't combine it in a food and beverages. That is why. Okay. And next one, housing. See, housing, if you go and take a rent of 2 BHK here, it is 20K for 2 BHK. Think that. After 1 year, it might be 22.5K or 23K. Is it got appreciated or not? Is it got inflated or not? Okay, that is what they have given different component called as housing. In urban areas, the inflation is too much for housing. As the demand of the locality increases, if you are the owner of the one of the house, if you wanted to give a rent for another people, will you increase or will you decrease that price of that rent? You will increase, obviously. Okay, that is called inflation. Okay. Next, clothing and footwear. Okay. Next, miscellaneous. Miscellaneous like transportation, education, health sector. Okay, that they have divided into 6 components actually. Okay, 6 components. One is food, beverages is one component. Pan, tobacco and intoxicant is second component. This is third, fourth, fifth, sixth. 6 components are there in CPI. Okay. If you see goods and services, goods is having this much of weightage, services is having this much of weightage in that inflation. See, this is the pie chart. Food and beverages, this much. The second component is pan, tobacco, intoxicant is 2.4% of inflation. Sorry, in weightage have been given for inflation. The weightage for clothing and footwear is 6.5. Weightage for housing is 10%. Weightage for fuel and light is 6.8. Weightage for miscellaneous, that is transportation, health, education, that is 24%, 28%. Okay. Do you got to know why they have just bifurcated or separated these kinds of components? Okay, they didn't collage everything in one component here. They have made different components in order to know in which component the inflation is too much. During COVID in Bangalore, the rent of the house was very little because all the people have went for their own native. Most of the houses were empty itself. But after COVID, most of the people again they come and settled in Bangalore. Again, the price of the rent have been increased or not? Do you know that? Okay, that is what regarding the inflation. Next, CPI. CPI is also, sorry, WPI. WPI is also having the components. That is primary article, fuel and power, manufactured products, food share. Okay, these are the components. That is the weightage. If you calculate overall, it is 100%. This is what they have given. Okay, already I have explained you. Is there any doubt in this? WPI, CPI and GDP deflator. Okay. These are the types of indices to measure the inflation. Inflation is measured with the help of CPI, with the help of WPI and also with the help of GDP deflator. These are the 3 types to calculate the inflation in India. Okay. Okay, next. Just write down the reflation and stagflation. Let us explain this. Reflation. Reflation. Okay. Tomorrow, the chapter banking we will start. Just write down reflation. Reflation, it is a reverse of deflation. Reflation. Reflation is a reverse of deflation. It is a reverse of deflation. That is the price falls. Okay. It is done by the government intentionally. Intentionally, the government will make the prices low. How it will do? It will just do this kind of reflation only by spending more, and by cutting the taxes also. Just write down. Intentionally when the economy is hit, and it is slow down. When the economy is slow down or when the economy is hit, intentionally the government will do lot of spending. Okay. So the government will increase its spending or public spending. Okay. Spending and cutting taxes. Cutting taxes and interest rate. And increase the money supply. And increase the money supply. Just write down, I will explain it in detail. Concentrate here. Reflation is the reverse of deflation. Here, the government, what it will do? It will intentionally spend a lot when the economy is slowed down. Economy kadame iddaga, okay, economy tumba kadame iddaga, loss iddaga, when the country is into the loss, government will spend more. Okay, if the people are not having much money, when the economy is slowed down, during that time, intentionally the government will do a lot of spending. How it will do the lot of spending? By cutting the taxes. Think that the GST is 18% for bread. It will decrease it for 5%. Intentionally it has cut the taxes so that it should not be a burden for whom? Consumers. If the GST is more, are you happy with paying the GST or you condemn for the government? When the GST is increased, you are not happy. The consumers are not happy. That is why intentionally what they will do? They will cut down this. And then they will cut down the interest rate also. If the interest rate in bank is 15%, will you take the loan or at the rate of 10 percentage will you take the loan? Think there are two rates, 10 percentage and 15 percentage. Which one will you choose to take the loan? 10 percentage. That is what they will cut down the interest rate. See here. Let me give one example for you. Here, the customers are not having money. Customers are not having much money. Economy is slowed down now. In order to make these customers into having a lot of money back again, government will do some of the processes. How the customers will again regain the money is by not giving money directly for the customers here. Government will not give directly the money for the customers. Government will do indirect kind of help for the customers, for the public. How is that? Customers are not having much money, but what you people will do? You people, the customers will take the loans in the bank. Okay. When you are not having much money, what you would want? You want an investment. Okay. What you will do? You will go for the bank, you will take the loans. Okay. That time, okay, in normal time, the bank loan might be 12 percentage. But when the economy, overall the Indian economy was slowed down, government will tell for the bank, government will tell for the RBI will tell for the other banks that cut down the interest rate.
The loans will be given in a form personalized loans or
Yes, government will be, the bank will be giving the loans in different types. Agriculture loan, vehicle loan, personal loan. Okay, there are different types of loans it will give, property loans. Okay, and these kinds of loans is having different interest rate tax slabs. Okay, based on the higher risk, the interest rate increases. Based on lower risk, the interest rate decreases. Let me give one example for you. What kind of loans are available in our bank? Agriculture loan, personal loan, house loan, education loan, then vehicle loan, so on. Health loan, insurance is there, but they don't give any kind of loans from the bank. Okay, these kinds of loans will be given for the customers. Okay, which is too much of risky here? Which loan is too much of risky? Harsha, which kind of loan is too much risky that banks can't retain their loan? Personal loan. Where it is? Personal loan is too much of risk. How the personal loan will be given? On what basis? On basis of income, your salary. If right now you are having the job, based on your salary slip, they will issue the loans for you. Think that suddenly after 1 week, you will be fired from your company. Is it a risk for the banks or not? Then if you have been fired from the company, then it is difficult for you to pay your loans back. If you took 10 lakhs of loans, think that you are having 50,000 rupees as a monthly salary. You thought that in my salary only you will deduct the monthly basis, whatever the EMI or whatever the loan you wanted. But suddenly if you got fired from the company, then for whom it is the loss? For the bank. That is a risky, and that is why for this risky loan, the interest rate is around about 15% or 16%. For personal loan, many of the banks will charge around about 15 to 16%. There are other banks who will just charge only 12% also. It depends from one bank to the other bank. But there is a bandwidth for every bank. In that bandwidth only they should issue the loans. They can't issue the personal loan at 2% or 3%. Okay, the RBI has given instruction for the banks to have the slabs for each type. Okay. Next, which one is riskier? The first higher risk is personal loan. Then next one is education loan. Correct. Then you will be already having the education, and after your education, after your graduation, if you don't get any kind of job, then it is very difficult for the bank to get back your loan along with the interest rate. Okay. Then agriculture loan. Agriculture loan.
Vehicle, say for example, if you don't pay them, they'll take the vehicle.
Then see here, you have took 20 lakh one of the car. Okay. You are paying the EMI for 1 year. After 1 year, you are unable to pay that EMI. Then what the bank will do?
They'll take the car.
They will seize the car, they will take back. You have took the loan at 20 lakh. Okay. At 20 lakh, you have already paid round about 2 lakh. Then what is the amount you should pay again? 18 lakh. Is the bank can sell that the same car at 18 lakh after a year? No. The purchaser, he can just bid it only for 15 lakh, the maximum. Then the 3 lakh will be a loss for the banks itself. Are you understanding? If you took a loan of 20 lakh from the bank, if you paid only 2 lakh in that year, and after that, after 1 year, you are unable to pay the loan of 18 lakh, then the bank will seize your car and they will sell that. But there should be a purchaser in the market to take this car. But that person, the highest bidding he can make is only 15 lakh. And the bank thought that they are unable to get the 18 lakh, they will sell it only at 15 lakh. They will do the auction and it will be sold only at 15 lakh. Then how much is the loss here? 3 lakh. 3 lakh is the loss. Is it a risky or not? Giving the vehicle loan.
Only for 12 lakhs.
What? Only for 12 lakhs. If it is sold only for 12 lakh.
No,
Huh?
say for example, the bidding was only up to 12 lakhs.
Okay, bidding is only for up to 12 lakh. The banks can sell or may not sell. It depends on the bank. Once it is been into an auction, it doesn't mean that if the bank is agreeing for that specific amount, they can sell that in an auction. If they think that this amount is too less, again they will wait for few days, again they will go for the second auction in second round. Are you understanding? But this vehicle loan is too risky. Okay. Vehicle loan is too risky. Okay. For the banks. Is there any? See, because for vehicle, the depreciation is more. The value of the bike or the value of the vehicles will get decreased very early. Understood? You think that you have buy the BMW for 1 crore rupee. Okay, minimum of 1 crore rupee. And if you wanted to sell that in the next year, it will be only having the value of 60 or 70 lakh itself. It will not be having even 95 lakh. Do you know the market price or not? Okay, because depreciation is too much for vehicles. Next comes the house loan. Next, last but least, that is a house loan. Okay. Last one is agriculture loan.
But house is not having depreciation.
See, agriculture every time it get appreciates, not depreciation.
Even house also.
Even house, I am telling that the quality of the house will get depreciate. Okay. See here, I am having two types of option. I am having 5 crore rupees. Think that I am having 5 crore rupees. Either I wanted to buy an agriculture land or either I wanted to buy a house. For agriculture land, think that for 1 acre of land, okay, for 1 acre, what is the price here? Nearby price, it might be a 50 lakh minimum. Okay, if I am having 5 crore, then how much of the agriculture land will I get? How much acres? 10 acres. 10 acres I will get in that 5 crore. If I had 5 crore, I will buy 10 acres of land. After 5 years, that price will be too high. For 1 acre, I might sell it for 80 lakh or even 1 crore also. Okay, agriculture land will get appreciate a lot. But if I buy a house,
This is talking about agricultural land or agriculture?
agriculture land,
Land.
yeah, agriculture. Agriculture means agriculture land itself, not the crops. Okay, agriculture land, it is agriculture land. Okay, and house loan, as you told, house loan. Okay, think that you wanted to sell that house. Okay, Harsha is having 10 acres of land. He wanted to give me 10 acres of land. You are having a house. But majority of the people, they feel agriculture land is too much helpful than getting the house. Because if they invest in a house, see, everybody will be having the house in their name. They don't want more than 2 or 3 houses. They will invest in where? Agriculture itself. The basic necessity is everybody wanted to have one house. Each one wanted one house individually. But after that, the investment, whatever the investment they have, they wanted to invest in where? Agriculture, by purchasing agriculture land, or by purchasing, or by having another kind of flats, okay, in real estate company, or in stocks, or in purchasing the gold or something. But housing, sometimes the people might not like the design of the house. Okay, it is very risky. See, you have built very good house. You might not like that house. The vastu might be different. Okay, I didn't like that vastu, or I might didn't like the locality or something. Okay, something might be there. But for agriculture land, it is not much risky at all. Okay, compared to the house loan, agriculture loan can be taken back. Okay, why? Because agriculture land loan, that will be, agriculture land will get appreciate every year. Okay, it will get huge demand every year. Okay, but house means based on a locality, the house rate might vary. If your locality is not in a prime area, your house loan, if you wanted to sell your house, it might not be in a good price. If your house is having it a prime location, then you can sell it at a good price itself. Okay. See, this is not much risky. Agriculture loan is not much risky. Okay. Just see now. This was related to the banking itself. Okay. In banking chapter, we'll just study repo rate, reverse repo rate, bank rate. There you will be knowing why they will just change the rates for every quarterly basis. Okay. And see, inflation and banking both are overlapping each other. Okay, inflation and banking chapter, that overlaps each other. Okay, without banks, without RBI, inflation can't be controlled. Understood? Okay, with the help of the bank only, inflation can be controlled in India. Okay, let me explain you in detail tomorrow regarding that. Okay, firstly, think that I am a customer. I don't have much money. I just wanted a loan. What I will do? I will just go for the bank and I will ask for the loans over there. In these kinds of loans might be. Okay, let us take the agriculture loan. Okay. Think that in normal time, the agriculture rate, whatever the loans, it might be at 12%. But government will tell during inflation, government will tell that just give the loan at only 8% of interest rate. This, see, once they announce a least interest rate, will the people will go for the bank and they will take the loans or not? If the charges are too less, people will opt for taking the loans in a bank. What they will do? By taking the loans, they will start a business or they might do the agriculture. When they get the products, or if they want, think that, let us take the industrial loan only. Industrial loan is also too risky. I didn't write here. Okay. Industrial loan. For industrial manufacturers, the interest rate is too much, because if it goes a default, if the company goes a default, obviously it will get hit for the banks also. Then the banks will also go on a default. Okay. Think that one of the industrialists wanted a loans. Okay. At normal time, his loan might be 18%, but during inflation, his loan will only be at 10%. Okay. During inflation, the banks have announced, during inflation, the RBI, the banks have announced that interest rate is just 10% for industrial loan. What the industrialist will do? He will take the loan, just 10% for him. Is it good for him, or that one is good for him? 10% good interest rate for the industrialist. What he will do? He will take the loan. After taking the loan, where he will invest that money? In the industry itself. What he will do? He might purchase the big machineries. He might increase his products. After increasing the supply, he will sell where? It in a market. By producing, and he will just distribute it in a market. He will sell it in a market. Once he sells in a market, what it will happen? He will get a profit. Okay. And also customers, okay, see here. Once he invests the money, and if he increase the supply, when he is having the investment, he will increase the supply. And after increasing the supply in a market, what the customers will do? Customers will start to purchase that. When you are having lot of supply of goods in a market, obviously will you purchase or not? Okay. If the supply is increased, demand, what it will happen for demand? If the supply is too much, demand will get decrease. If the demand decreases, price, what will happen for the price? Decrease. And if the price is decreased, who will buy? Consumers or the customers will buy. Okay. During inflation, see here, customers don't like to buy. Think that onion price goes 100 rupees. Will you purchase that much of the onion what you wanted to use it in normal days? No. In normal days, you will be using 4 onion. Okay. But in inflation, during inflation, you will use only 1 or 2 onion. Do you know that? Okay. And during inflation, customers don't like to purchase the goods. There will be a decrease of goods, will be whatever the customers, they think that the goods should not be purchased during inflation. They wanted to save money. Okay. And if there is a lot of supplies going on, then obviously demand gets decreased. If the demand is less, price is less. If the price is less, now the customer will buy that. This is what the cut down of taxes of reflation. As I told you, cut down of interest rate. Cut down of taxes means, think that for milk, it is now 0% of the tax. Okay, milk is 0% of the GST. Now they have brought it in 5% of the GST. Will you condemn or not for the GST Council? Will condemn for the Finance Minister as well. Why? Because Finance Minister is the chairperson of the GST Council. Okay. Now think that this, any of the biscuit, okay, biscuit also is having around about 18% now. It was just 5 or 12%. Now they have increased that also. If the taxes is cut down, people will be saving the money or not? If your taxes is been cut down, you will be saving your money. When you are having the money, then what you will do? You will invest the money in somewhere. Understood? Okay. If you don't have a money, then economy will be slowed down. People are not, if the people are not having the money, economy will obviously get slowed down. In order to have the money in your hands, the government, what it will do? It will decrease the interest rate, as I told you in this slide. As I told you in this slide, it will cut down the interest rate. It will cut down the taxes like GST or direct taxes also. Understood? If the inflation is too much, people will be not having much money. Understood? During inflation, people will be not having much money. If you had a much money, you would have brought whatever you wanted to purchase, you would have purchased. When the inflation is too much, see, if the gold price is now 20,000 rupees per 10 gram, obviously you will go and purchase it. But right now, what is the gold price? It is more than 1 lakh per 10 gram. Okay, right now people don't like to purchase the gold. If the price cuts down, the people will be purchasing the gold. That is what the government will do. Understood? It will cut the prices, it will cut the taxes, it will cut the interest rate. That is what called as reflation. Next one, just put the heading stagflation. Last one, stagflation. Stagflation. Just write down. Stagflation is a condition. Stagflation is a condition in which slow economic growth, write in a bracket, stagnation, bracket close, comma, rising prices, and rising unemployment, all happen at the same time. Just put the heading Phillips curve. Phillips curve. Phillips curve. Okay. This is related to the inflation itself. Just draw the graph, Phillips curve. inflation is indirectly proportional to the unemployment. Inflation is indirectly proportional to the unemployment. Phillips curve. Can anyone give me the example of Phillips curve? How does this employment rate, how does this inflation will increase an unemployment rate?
And the inflation is available to the people will not purchase the products. So the industry will show the cost.
Okay.
So the employment will be affected.
Let me give one example for you. High unemployment. Just put this. High inflation, low unemployment rate. Here, if you just draw the line, here there is a higher inflation. Okay. If you take it into a vertical, okay, here it is lower unemployment. Just take 0, 2 percentage, 4 percentage, okay, 6 percentage, 8 percentage. Here it is 10 percentage. Inflation, just take inflation also in the form of percentage. 2 percentage, 4 percentage, 6 percentage, 8 percentage, 10 percentage. Okay. If the inflation, what is the maximum inflation? It is 10 percentage. At 10 percentage, if you find the vertical line, if you draw the vertical line, the unemployment rate is just 2 percentage. As I told you, the higher the inflation, lower the unemployment rate. If you just go for the least or decrease in the inflation rate, okay, 2 percentage, the 2 percentage then what is the highest one here? 10 percentage. If the inflation is less, unemployment will be more. Okay, let me give one example for you. Okay. Just tell me any one of the items or goods, commodity, which is the basic like goods that you wanted to give an example. Mobile phone. You want to take mobile phone itself? Okay. Which one? As expected. Yesterday was iPhone, today was Nokia. Okay. Oh, so what is the price of the Nokia? 2000? Okay. Nokia manufacturer have introduced an Nokia phone in a market and it just costs 2000 rupees. Okay. People can afford this, even the poor people can afford this. Just tell the new series in Nokia. Huh? Yeah, that one, that is what I wanted, a new series in that. Think that one of the Nokia set is 45,000. Okay, and they have launched the Nokia at 45,000 rupees. Okay, people thought that in order to buy the Nokia, they wanted to purchase either it in a online or this is going to for the showroom. But in online, the stocks are not available and they have went for the showroom. And during the initial days, the demand of that Nokia will be more. Why the demand of the Nokia is more? What they made, the supply was less initially. Even the manufacturer of Nokia don't know how much trending and how much demand of the Nokia have been there in a market. Okay, and usually they will just manufacture at least units. The units will be very least during manufacturing, especially in initial days. They will not manufacture bulky because they also don't have much idea that how many of the people will buy these phones. Okay, that is why the supply will be less during launching. And obviously the demand increased. Why? Because they don't have much supply. They're not increasing it their supply initially. Okay, and after the demand increases, what is the price? Price will also get increased. Think that in showroom they have just put the tagline of only 45,000 rupees, but due to the demand, what they told for the customers, if you pay extra money, I will give for you. Understood? Obviously, we'll pay around about 60,000 rupees and you will buy that phone. Why? Because you wanted a trending phone and you wanted to showcase for your friends and for your families that I have brought the phone within a few days. Okay, and think that this is what called as inflation. Okay, initially it was 45,000. In a showroom, they just increased their price and it was been 60,000 rupees, and that is called as inflation. Now, see here. Due to this kind of inflation, what this manufacturer will do is that this manufacturer now he will think of increasing the supply. Why so? Still there is a demand in a market for Nokia phones, and that is why he thought that he wanted a huge profit. That is why he will increase his supply. Okay, for 45, he wanted to sell it for 45, but the demand has created and made him to sell it at 60,000 rupees. Now there was a huge profit for the Nokia manufacturer. What he will think? He wanted to just increase his supply. More number of people are in need of the Nokia phone, and he will think that he wanted to increase his supply, and then he'll increase the supply. Okay, see, think that round about 25,000 profit is happening for the Nokia manufacturer for selling only one phone. What he will do in order to make huge profit at short period of time? What he will do? Cost of production increase. Why it will increase? Yes, now I will come here. He is just thinking to increase the supply now because he want a huge profit at short period of time. Now all this comes into the picture. What? The raw materials, then the labors. Think that initially he is just manufacturing only 1,000 units, only 1,000 phones in a daily basis. Now he thought of increasing the supply for 10,000. Okay, 10,000 units. Okay, lakhs of people wanted to buy the phone. At least he thought of manufacturing at least 10,000 units per day. Okay. Now, in order to increase these units, he should hire the laborers or not? Many number of laborers. During 1,000 units, only 10 people are working. Only 10 laborers were working. Think that for manufacturing 1,000 units of mobile phones, 10 laborers he was hired. But in order to increase the production, what he will do? He will increase the laborers now. And now the laborers will be 100 in number. He is hiring another 90 laborers now. Total will be 100 laborers. Understood? When there is increase in the laborers, now they can increase the production with the help of laborers. Now, what is this? Compare this 10 laborers to 100 laborers. Will it called as employment or not? Employment rate have been increased. Okay. During inflation, the employment rate increases. During inflation, this is called as inflation only. He wanted to increase the supply. That is why he hired 90 laborers, extra 90 laborers. Now this is called as employment generation. Initially there were only 10 laborers. Now they are having 100 laborers. What that is called as? Employment generation. Means during inflation, employment will be increased. That too only in the short term. Okay. Let me come to the conclusion now. After hiring these laborers, after producing 10,000 units daily for 2 or 3 months, now the trend will go decrease. Now the trend will come down. After the trend comes down, what they should do? What the manufacturer will do? Decrease the supply. Once the trend goes down, what the manufacturer will do? He will decrease the supply again. Then after decrease the supply, see, once in a time he used to manufacture 10,000 units. Now it came to the 500 units per day. Then what he will do? Obviously he will fire the laborers or not? He will lay off. The laborers will get lay off. Now he wanted just 15 to 20 laborers. The rest extra laborers will be just got fired. And now it led to what? Unemployment again. Okay. Inflation during short term, it leads to the employment generation. In long term, it will lead to what? Unemployment. Finish. Understood? During inflation, at the short period of time, it gives an employment opportunity for more number of people. But at the long term, it will again lead to the unemployment. That's it. Okay. Just write down this in your own words. Okay. This, whatever the explanation I have done, that will come in effects of inflation. Yesterday I have told you creditor and debtors, creditor and borrowers. In that also this the same point will come. That's why. Okay. Just write down during inflation, during inflation, during inflation, during inflation, during inflation, the employment generation or the employment rate increases. During inflation, the employment rate increases. Employment rate increases. Bracket alli short term. Short term. Bracket close. But during long term, it leads to the unemployment. It leads to the unemployment. bracket ಅಲ್ಲಿ increase, bracket ಅಲ್ಲಿ increase. Now come to this Phillips curve. Okay. Phillips curve was failed afterwards, after certain years. Why? Because Phillips told that when there is an inflation, it will give employment opportunity. As we told, it is in a short term. Okay. But Phillips curve ಏನ್ ಹೇಳ್ತಿತ್ತು ಅಂದ್ರೆ, the higher the inflation, higher the, sorry, I'll write down here. Higher the inflation, lower the employment generation. Sorry. Lower the unemployment generation. Lower the unemployment. Okay. Means Phillips told that if there is an inflation, it will give job opportunities. If there is an inflation, it will increase the employment opportunity. That was told by the Phillips. But after certain years, there are two scientists. They told that Phillips curve was failed actually. Okay. Why? Because in long term, again it led to what? Unemployment. That is why this theory was being failed. But actually, this Phillips curve is related to the inflation. In prelims, they might ask you regarding Phillips curve. Phillips in the mass following, they might ask you Urjit Patel Committee inflation targeting. Okay, Urjit Patel Committee related to the inflation targeting. Phillips curve related to the inflation only. Okay, these kind of match the following kind of statement they might ask you. Okay, is there any doubt? Phillips curve, it told that the higher the inflation, lower will be the unemployment rate. But it's just short term. Okay, this theory was been unsuccessful and it was been failed also. Let us wind up the class and we can continue tomorrow. Is there any doubts till now? Are you understanding the class or not? Divya.
I got it. Previous years.
Yeah.